Hello, video world. This is only a messenger. Thanks for watching and being here again. Today we're going to talk about how's your credit with God. And long story short is, for many years before I started spending time with God, and even now, keep asking for more. But I'm always going, Lord, what can I do for you? I guess it's kind of the battle cry almost of a person who is either a new believer or an old believer. Is what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? I mean, you want to serve God. You want to do something for Him. And God knows I asked 100 times or 1,000 times. I was always, God, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And so, long story short, I think He gave me this story to tell me, and now I'm just going to share it with you. His opinion, so to speak, of my question. Now, how's your credit with God? With no further ado, let me just actually read the story. God, why are you, this is my thoughts, God, why are you slow in moving, promoting us, giving us what we want, or revealing to us what you want us to do? Now, assuming your heart is right, or my heart is right, and your request is not contrary to God's will, what is He waiting on? Well, what He shared is, what is credit? Credit is a ranking or score, or answer, for how dependable, reliable, or responsible you are with what has already been entrusted to you. We all know with bad credit, it's tough or impossible, almost, to get people to trust you with more credit, right? But what happens the longer you prove yourself dependable or worthy of what is entrusted to you? Your available power or potential goes up, doesn't it? Well, the Bible says it this way: to those who are faithful with little, they will be given much. Remember, though, to whom is given much, much is required. A little something extra we talk about a whole different day, but I kind of knew that going into it is, all right, Lord, the more I ask for and the more you give, the more you expect. And that's pretty much what anybody does. Now, before you ask God for more or get upset when He turns you down, here's what He shared with me is ask yourself these questions. Number one, how long have you been working at knowing God? And I thought, boy, that's interesting. How long have I been working at knowing God? Number two kind of explains it. How faithful have you been with what He has asked you to do so far? In other words, we all know God's already asking us to do things. Read His Word. I mean, just the basics, I call them. Or read His Word, pray, spend time with Him, share Him, go to church. Don't neglect fellowship in others. In other words, if you don't like your church, or for some reason, find one you do, is because you are supposed to be in fellowship with other believers. That's in the Word. And also is, I just want to go one step further with church, is serve at your church. Don't just show up on Sunday and just get fed and then leave. Is nothing wrong with being fed, but be there to feed too. Number three, what do you plan to do with the credit He would give you? Number four, is He number one on your priority list to pay back? Think about that. In other words, are you just wanting a blessing, something more from God, or do you want to be a blessing? Remember, God knows where you stand with Him right now. He knows what you would do or wouldn't do with whatever He gives you. If your answer to the above questions aren't what you would want to hear from somebody that you would want to, or that you would loan money or loan something to, then be honest with yourself. Should God give you what you're asking for? Are you ready for what you're asking for? I finished with keep smiling, though, because inquiries don't count against you. And I think that's kind of cute just because, I kept asking and asking and asking. Probably badgered would be a good term for it. But God doesn't mind you asking. He likes you asking. Just like you would love to have your child ask, is to be able to help or do something. Now, the part that really stands out to me about this, though, most is, remember, God knows where you stand with Him right now. I like to think of it this way, is I have children, and I love my kids. I would hope and pray that you have a good mother and father relationship and whatnot. But if you don't, know this: God truly loves you enough to send His Son Jesus to die for you. But He truly loves you. He wants to do for you. He wants to give you. Bless you is the term everybody likes to use. However, he also knows what you would do with it. Think of it this way. If you had a child, or if my child were involved with some wrong stuff, or doing some wrong stuff, or just spending his money foolishly, whatever, and he's like, Dad, I need more money, or Dad, I need something else. If I know he's doing wrong, I'm not going to give it to him. If I know he's not doing right, I may not give it to him. And God's the same way. His word actually says, if you evil fathers, not, that we're quote unquote evil, but compared to him, is if you evil fathers would, if your son asks for a loaf of bread, not give him a stone, then how much more would he do for us? And so the point being is God truly wants to do for you. He truly wants to do for me. So when I asked him, it's not like he's going, oh, geez, Pete keeps asking. Whoops, said my name. Only a messenger keeps asking. Sure, eventually you know who I am anyways. But it's the same thing with you. There's nothing wrong with asking, but what I learned is he wants you to become more than just do. Think about that for a bit. And so the only way to become more like who his son is to spend time with him, to know who he is. And so I want to finish this because we are on video and everything else like that, and we'll get deeper and whatnot a little bit more. But ask yourself honestly, if God were to give you something, do something for you, or whatnot, what would you do with it? Or do you really even have an idea what it is that he would want you to do? So, oftentimes our own thoughts and our own plans and everything else like that sound good or look good to ourselves, but as the Bible says, it's foolishness to him. So, anyways, long story short, don't forget to like on the bottom, subscribe, still learning, right? Like, subscribe, check out the website, onlymessenger.com. And there's a lot of fun stuff over there. You can help share the word or spread the word without saying a word over there, which is a really cool thought too. And other than that, thanks again for watching Only a Messenger. God bless, and we'll talk to you soon.